I always imagined my wedding day would be perfect. Instead, I'm hiding in the church bathroom, mascara running down my face, while my mother screams obscenities at my father in front of 200 guests. My name is Yesenia, and I've spent my entire life trying to keep the peace in my family. But today, on what should be the happiest day of my life, I'm done being the fixer. You owe me this money, Jaden. Mom's voice pierces through the wooden door. After everything I sacrificed raising your daughters. I grip the marble countertop, staring at my reflection. The white dress I spent months picking out suddenly feels too tight, too restricting. My best friend Andrea appears behind me, holding tissues. Your mother is completely out of line, she says, dabbing at my eyes. Shane is out there keeping everyone calm, but Yessie, you need to make a decision. A loud crash echoes from the chapel, followed by gasps. That does it. I straighten my spine and throw open the bathroom door. The scene before me is exactly what I feared. Mom, in her signature red dress that's too young for her, stands triumphantly over a toppled flower arrangement. Dad looks defeated, while my stepmom Maria holds his arm supportively. My sister Isla hovers uncertainly between them, her bridesmaid dress wrinkled from stress. How dare you? I hear myself shout. The words echo through the chapel and everyone freezes. How dare you come here today and try to extort more money from Dad? Mom spins toward me, her practiced victim expression already in place. Mija, you don't understand. No, you don't understand. I cut her off, walking closer. My heels click against the marble floor like exclamation points. I understand perfectly. You've been bleeding Dad dry for years, even after the divorce. You manipulated Isla and me into asking him for money whenever you were short. You made us feel guilty for every holiday we spent with him and Maria. Shane appears at my side, his hand finding mine. His touch gives me strength. But what you don't know, I continue, my voice growing stronger, is that I've been watching and learning. Every manipulation, every guilt trip, every financial scheme, I saw it all. And I made sure I'd never be in your power. Mom's face changes, the mask slipping. What are you talking about? I lift my chin, feeling the weight of 200 pairs of eyes. I'm talking about the fact that I'm not the naive little girl you can control anymore. I have my own money, my own life. And after today, you'll have no more power over this family. The silence that follows is deafening. In that moment, looking at my mother's shocked face, I realize this isn't just about my wedding anymore. This is about breaking free. Mom recovers quickly, her shocked expression morphing into a familiar, condescending smile. Oh, Mija, what could you possibly know about money? You're just a graphic designer. Actually, I pull out my phone, hands steady despite my racing heart. I'm a lot more than that. Dad, remember those investment lessons you gave me when I was 16? Dad's eyes light up with understanding. The stock portfolio we started with your quinceañera money? I took everything you taught me and ran with it, I say, pulling up my investment app. Every time Mom asked for money, I put aside the same amount into investments. Every guilt trip became another reason to build my safety net. Mom stalks toward me, her heels clicking menacingly. Show me that phone. No. I step back, Shane's protective arm around my waist. But I'll tell you exactly what it says. 6 years of careful investing, a diverse portfolio, 3 rental properties, and a net worth that means I'll never have to depend on anyone's manipulation again. Andrea lets out a whoop from behind me. Tell her, girl. You're lying, Mom hisses, but I see the uncertainty in her eyes. Maria, I call out to my stepmom. Remember that duplex you helped me inspect last year? The one we kept secret from Mom? Maria nods, smiling proudly. Best investment you've made yet, honey. Mom's face turns an alarming shade of red. You went to her for help instead of me? Maria taught me about real estate. Dad taught me about stocks. And you? I laugh, but there's no humor in it. You taught me exactly what kind of person I never want to become. This isn't over, Mom snarls, grabbing her designer purse. You think you're so clever? We'll see about that. I still have a few cards to play. As she storms toward the exit, Isla steps forward. Mom, wait. Don't bother, I tell my sister. Let her go plot whatever she wants. I'm done being afraid of her threats. The chapel erupts in applause, making me jump. I'd almost forgotten about our audience. Shane pulls me close, whispering, That was incredible, but are you okay? I look around at the supportive faces. Dad's pride, Maria's warmth, Andrea's fierce loyalty, and Isla's dawning admiration. You know what? I really am. For the first time in my life, I feel completely free. Then, Shane grins, shall we get married? I squeeze his hand, my heart full. Yes, it's about time this wedding was about us and not her. But as we take our places at the altar, I can't shake the feeling that Mom's final words weren't just an empty threat. I know her too well. She never admits defeat without plotting revenge. 3 weeks into married life, the first sign of Mom's revenge arrives in my inbox. I'm having coffee with Andrea when my phone buzzes with an email from my oldest tenant. Your mother came by the property today. Andrea reads over my shoulder. She told me you're selling the building and offered to help me find a new place. Is this true? My coffee cup hits the table with a sharp clank. She's trying to sabotage my rentals. That woman doesn't quit, Andrea mutters, pulling out her phone. I'm calling my cousin at the police station. This has to be harassment. Wait, I say, already typing a response to my tenant. I need to handle this my way. The bell above the cafe door chimes, and I look up to see Isla rushing in, her face flushed. Yesy, you need to see this. She slides her tablet across the table. On the screen is Mom's Facebook page, filled with long, dramatic posts about ungrateful daughters and stolen inheritance money. The comments section is a battlefield of family members taking sides. She's trying to turn the family against you, Isla says, dropping into an empty chair. Tia Rosa called me this morning, asking if it's true that you embezzled money from Mom's savings. I laugh, but it comes out hollow. What savings? She spent every penny she ever had on designer clothes and fancy cars. I found something else, Isla continues, pulling out a worn envelope. I was cleaning out Mom's home office while she was at the salon. Look at these bank statements. My hands shake as I scan the documents. She's been taking out massive loans, credit card debt, second mortgages. She's underwater on everything. That's why she crashed your wedding, Andrea says. She's desperate for money. My phone buzzes again. Another email from a different tenant. She's visiting all my properties. I need to stop this now. How? Isla asks. I stand up, gathering my things. By showing her what real consequences look like. Andrea, call your cousin. I want to file a harassment report. Isla, I need copies of those financial documents. What are you going to do? Isla's voice is small, worried. Remember when we were kids and Mom would always say, karma comes back around? I grab my keys. Well, she's about to learn how right she was. As I head for the door, Andrea calls out, Yesy, be careful. Your mother's like a wounded animal right now. Those are the most dangerous kind. I pause, thinking of all the times Mom's schemes had hurt our family. No, Andrea, I'm not the one who needs to be careful. For once, Mom's the one who should be watching her back. The cafe door swings shut behind me, and I feel a familiar determination settling in my chest. Mom taught me everything I know about playing the long game. Now it's time to show her just how well I learned those lessons. There's something else you need to know, Isla says, pacing my living room that evening. Mom wasn't just after Dad's money during their marriage. She was seeing other men. Rich men. I sink into my couch, the leather cool against my arms. What do you mean? I found her old diaries while cleaning. Isla pulls out a small red notebook. She had a system. She'd meet wealthy married men at charity events, convince them to invest in her business ideas, and then disappear with the money. Shane walks in from the kitchen, carrying 3 mugs of tea. That explains why she moved us around so much when you were kids. It wasn't just moving, I say, memories flooding back. Remember how she'd suddenly have money for shopping sprees, Isla? Then a few weeks later, we'd pack up in the middle of the night, switch schools? Isla nods, tears in her eyes. I thought we were just having adventures. The doorbell rings, making us all jump. It's Dad, looking exhausted in his work suit. I got your message, he says, stepping inside, about your mother's latest schemes. Dad, I pat the seat next to me. Why didn't you tell me about her affairs? The con games? He runs a hand through his graying hair. I wanted to protect you girls, but I should have known you'd figure it out eventually. You're too smart not to. She tried to pull the same thing with my properties that she did with your business, didn't she? I ask. Almost identical playbook, Dad confirms. First, she spread rumors about financial troubles. Then she approached my clients directly, offering to help them find new suppliers. By the time I caught on, I'd lost half my customers. Shane sets his mug down hard. We need to stop her before she does the same thing to Yessie's investments. Actually, Dad reaches for his briefcase. I might have something that can help. I kept records of everything. The affairs, the fraud, the hidden accounts. I was saving them for leverage if she ever came after you girls. My hands tremble as I take the thick folder. This is everything we need to stop her. But Yessie, Isla touches my arm. Using these documents means exposing everything. The whole family will know. Mom might even face legal troubles. Good, I say firmly. It's time everyone saw the truth. Dad squeezes my hand. Whatever you decide, I'm behind you. We all are. Looking around at my support system, my husband, my sister, my father, I feel stronger than ever. Mom might have taught me about manipulation and secrets, but these people taught me about loyalty and truth. Tomorrow, I announce, clutching the folder. We take this to my lawyer. It's time to end Mom's games once and for all. Pass the potatoes, please, Maria says, and for a moment I'm struck by how normal this feels. I'm at Shane's parents' house for Sunday dinner, surrounded by warmth and honest conversation. No hidden agendas, no manipulation. So how are you holding up, sweetheart? Shane's mom asks, her kind eyes meeting mine across the table. Shane told us about the situation with your mother. Before I can answer, my phone buzzes. It's a text from my lawyer. Urgent. Your mother is contesting your father's will. Court date set for next week. She's what? I blurt out, showing the message to Shane. Dad isn't even dead. A living will can be contested. Shane's father, a retired judge, explains. But it's unusual. What's her claim? She's desperate, I say, pushing my plate away. The harassment didn't work, so now she's trying this. Maria reaches across the table, squeezing my hand. You know what I see when I look at you, Yesenia? I see a strong woman who's finally standing up for herself. Don't let her shake that. Speaking of standing up, Shane's mom adds, tell us about your new property management company. How's that going? For the next hour, we talk about normal things. Business plans, renovation projects, Shane's promotion at work. No one mentions money they're owed or guilt trips about family loyalty. It's refreshing. Healing even. Then my phone rings. It's Isla. Mom just showed up at my apartment, she says, her voice shaking. She's demanding I testify against Dad in court. Says if I don't help her, she'll tell everyone about my student loan debt. I grab my keys, already heading for the door. I'm coming over. Don't let her in. Too late, Isla whispers. She's sitting on my couch right now, going through my mail. Put her on speaker, I say, motioning for Shane to follow me. I want to hear this. Through the phone, I hear Mom's voice, smooth as honey. Isla, mija, I'm only trying to protect our family's legacy. Your sister has turned your father against me. She's poisoned everyone with lies. The only liar here is you, I say loudly into the phone. And Isla's student loans? I paid those off last month. Check your mail, sis. The silence on the other end is deafening. What? Mom finally sputters. How dare you interfere? That's what family does, Mom, I say, starting my car. Real family, the kind that helps without keeping score. I hear shuffling, then a door slamming. Isla comes back on the line. She left. She looked scared. Good, I say, pulling onto the street. Because this is just the beginning. I'm done playing defense. It's time to show her exactly what I learned from watching her all these years. The courtroom feels smaller than I expected. Mom sits across the aisle wearing her favorite victim outfit: modest black dress, minimal makeup, pearl necklace. I almost laugh at how predictable she is. All rise, the bailiff calls out. Our lawyer presents Dad's case first, methodically explaining how the living will was properly executed, how all assets were legally divided during the divorce. Mom's lawyer, a slick guy in an expensive suit, keeps whispering in her ear. Your Honor, Mom's lawyer stands. We have evidence that Mr. Brooks was coerced into changing his will by his daughter, who has shown a pattern of financial manipulation. I grip Shane's hand as the lawyer produces a stack of documents. These bank transfers show suspicious patterns, he continues. Large sums moving between accounts, property purchases under shell companies, all orchestrated by the daughter. The judge peers over her glasses. And your point? My client believes her ex-husband is being exploited by their daughter, who has systematically worked to cut her mother out of her rightful inheritance. Dad's lawyer stands. Your Honor, I have documentation proving every transaction was legal and transparent. Furthermore, she pauses dramatically, pulling out the folder Dad gave me. I have evidence of Mrs. Santiago's own history of financial fraud and exploitation. Mom's face goes pale. Her lawyer looks confused. Objection, he sputters. This is character assassination. Overruled, the judge says. Continue. Our lawyer begins reading from the documents. Details of Mom's affairs with wealthy men, records of fraudulent investment schemes, bank statements showing mysterious deposits followed by sudden withdrawals. With each revelation, Mom shrinks further into her seat. Additionally, our lawyer adds, we have recent evidence of Mrs. Santiago harassing her daughter's tenants and attempting to sabotage legitimate businesses. The judge turns to Mom. Mrs. Santiago, do you wish to respond to these allegations? Mom stands, her hands shaking. Your Honor, I'm just a mother trying to protect my family's interests. My daughter. She turned my ex-husband against me. She's trying to steal everything I worked for. Everything you worked for? I stand up, unable to contain myself. You mean everything you stole? Everything you conned out of other people? Mrs. Franklin, the judge warns, please sit down. I'm sorry, Your Honor, I say, but keep my eyes on Mom. But every word in those documents is true. I know because I watched her do it all my life, and now she's trying to do it to me. The judge calls a recess, but Mom's lawyer is already whispering urgently to her. From the look on his face, he's just realized he's representing the wrong side in this fight. As we file out of the courtroom, I hear Mom's voice behind me. This isn't over, mija. You have no idea what I'm capable of. I turn to face her. Actually, Mom, I know exactly what you're capable of. That's why I'm going to win. When court resumes, Mom's lawyer looks defeated. 3 of her former investors have arrived to testify, having seen the court proceedings mentioned on social media. They sit in the gallery, their faces grim with recognition. Your Honor, Mom's lawyer begins. In light of new evidence, we'd like to withdraw our petition. Not yet? Mom snaps, standing up. I demand to speak. The judge sighs but nods. Proceed, Mrs. Santiago. Mom turns to face me, her mascara slightly smeared. You think you're so clever, don't you? Playing the perfect daughter, the successful businesswoman? I made you what you are. Everything you know about money, about power, you learned from me. You're right, I say calmly, standing to face her. I learned from watching you destroy our family. I learned what not to become. I did everything for you girls. She's shouting now, her carefully constructed facade crumbling. I sacrificed everything. No, Mom. You sacrificed everyone else for yourself. And now you're mad because I won't let you sacrifice me too. One of the men in the gallery stands up. Your Honor, I'd like to press charges against Mrs. Santiago for fraud. Me too, says another. Mom's face contorts with rage. You ungrateful little... She lunges toward me, but the bailiff steps between us. Mrs. Santiago, The judge barks. Control yourself or I'll hold you in contempt. This is all your fault. Mom sobs, but the tears look rehearsed. I'm your mother. You're supposed to take care of me. I tried, Mom. For years I tried. But you don't want care. You want control. The judge clears her throat. Given the evidence presented and Mrs. Santiago's behavior, I'm dismissing the petition. Furthermore, I'm issuing a restraining order preventing Mrs. Santiago from contacting her daughter or interfering with her business operations. Mom collapses into her chair, her performance falling flat as the former investors approach the bailiff to file their complaints. Mom, I say softly, I don't hate you. I just won't let you hurt me anymore. She looks up at me, and for a moment I see something real in her eyes. Fear. Not of the legal consequences, but of losing her power over me. What am I supposed to do now? She whispers. Get help. Take responsibility. Learn to be better. I gather my things, but do it far away from me and my family. As I walk out of the courtroom, Shane, Dad, and Isla surround me protectively. Behind us, I hear Mom's voice rise in another dramatic outburst, but it sounds distant now. Powerless. You okay? Shane asks, squeezing my hand. I look back one last time at the woman who taught me everything about manipulation and nothing about love. Yeah, I really am. For the first time in my life, I'm free. The last box is officially unpacked. Isla announces, placing a framed photo on my new office wall. It's from my wedding day. The moment after Mom left, when everyone gathered around to support me. The property management company's sign looks perfect outside. Shane says, wrapping his arms around my waist. Want to see? We step out onto the street where Santiago and Franklin Properties gleams in professional lettering. Dad and Maria pull up in their car, carrying housewarming gifts. Look what we found while cleaning out the garage, Dad says, handing me a dusty photo album. Inside are pictures of me at 16, studying investment books with him at the kitchen table. You were always a quick learner, he says proudly. Even back then, you were planning your future. My phone buzzes. A text from Andrea. Turn on the news. We crowd around my office TV just in time to see Mom being led into a police station in handcuffs. The headline reads, Local woman charged in multi-state investment fraud scheme. 3 of her former victims came forward after the court hearing. Isla explains, reading from her phone. They found more victims online. It's a whole network. Are you okay? Shane asks softly. I look around my new office, at the family surrounding me, at the business I built honestly, at the life I've created. You know what? I actually am. Mom taught me that power comes from controlling others, but she was wrong. Real power comes from breaking free. Speaking of breaking free, Isla says, pulling out an envelope, I got approved for my business loan. I'm opening my own photography studio. That's amazing. I hug her tight. Mom would hate that we're both successful without her. Good thing she's not here to complain about it. Isla laughs. Dad raises a glass of champagne. To my daughters, who learned to thrive despite everything. And to Karma, I add, thinking of Mom's face in that news clip. Sometimes it works perfectly. Maria starts unpacking lunch, and soon we're all sitting on my office floor, sharing stories and making plans. No manipulation, no hidden agendas, just family being family. You know, Shane says, your mom was right about one thing. Everything you are today, you learned from her. True, I reply, watching Isla show Dad her business plan. But not in the way she meant. She taught me exactly what kind of person I didn't want to be. And that was the most valuable lesson of all. Outside, the sun catches our new company sign, making it sparkle. Inside, surrounded by love and honesty, I finally feel complete. Mom's legacy of manipulation ends with her. Mine is just beginning, built on something much stronger. Truth, love, and the power of breaking free.